Hey yo, are you a B2B SaaS founder and you want to grow your product through Twitter? Then you're in the right place. My name is Denis and I'm going to cover this in this video. I'm sure that you've got 1,000 things on your to-do list. These are following up on prospects, making sure that existing clients are happy, working on your product. And this video is not aimed at those founders who are gonna be full-time Twitter creators. Instead, I wanted to create a tutorial which would be super useful for those who only have maximum of 1 hour a day to grow on Twitter and still want to have certain traction from the platform. I understand that you don't want to be spending years and years to grow without knowing where you're gonna end up, because we don't have such time frame. But I'm sure that if you follow the stuff which I'll be going through here today, you'll get closer to your goal, which is making more sales through Twitter. So if you're a B2B SaaS founder, we'll teach you how to get extra 20 qualified demos a month in 6 months or less, or we will refund you in full if it doesn't work at SaaS Camp Accelerator, which I run. So make sure to check it out. Before we dive in, my Twitter tag is Denis Shatalin, and here are some of my stats for the past year. I gained over 2.5 million impressions, 12k profile visits, 40k in engagement, and some posts which gained a lot of traction are present here. I'm not saying that I have found a way to get millions of followers in days, but I'm sure that this is not your goal either, because the first thing we want to be clear on is actually identify your goal. Do you want $100,000 in sales, or do you want 100,000 followers? Interestingly, these don't always correlate. Likes ain't cash. You can have 2,000 high quality followers and be getting more from your profile than somebody else with 100,000k follower count. Reverse engineer your plan from your goal. If your aim is to make sales, be thoughtful about what you do on the platform, because posting memes is not gonna bring you many enterprise customers unless your memes are very good. So now you can understand that basically there are profiles that have a huge ton more followers than some others, but they're trying everything to monetize and finding it hard. Our role with you is not to aim for the huge follower count, but rather have enough followers for us to be getting conversions into their product. And this usually starts at 500, couple thousand followers. I'm sure, especially if you're in high ticket and you are getting very nice high profile people following you, you will be getting demo requests for your product. So before you do any threads, giveaways, post any cool memes, understand your audience. Everything starts here. Before you begin writing, understand who you are writing for. Who is your ideal customer profile? And here I'm gonna drop a couple questions that will help you identify this one. What are they worried about? What keeps them up at night? What's the dream goal? What objections they may have when you pitch them your product? What solutions they tried in the past? What are their interests? What are their fears? And what are their biggest pains? You want to address all of this in your content marketing. Don't try to grow broad at the start. You'll grow much faster by being laser targeted at the start. The biggest mistake that everyone makes before 1,000 followers is trying to write for everyone at once. Look, I understand that when you're sitting at just 100 followers, this may not be as cool, but the more broad you go with your profile, the harder it's going to be getting. And I'm telling you that if you are writing to the super targeted niche, very small market, and you're serving them better than anyone else, and your content is the best one they can find on the internet, it will be a few months max before you are gonna be growing exponentially. So after you clarified your audience, you want to build your dream 100 list, because Twitter is a social platform. These are 100 people in your space who already have your ideal audience. Your goal is to copy their audience within the next 6 months. Search for a topic via the Twitter console, follow some person, see what are the 3 recommendations which drop down after you followed someone, find these profiles, repeat, and this is how you build your dream 100. 30% of people are gonna be your level, and these are, let's say, 1 to couple thousand followers, because if you just invest 100% of your effort only going for people who got 500,000 to, I don't know, zillion follower counts, it will be a high risk, high reward strategy that no one will eventually care about you, and we don't want this to happen. That's why 30% of people are going to be your level. Next, 30% is going to be one stage above. For instance, let's say that you are watching this when you have 300 followers. 30% of people who are your level would be between 200 and 500 followers. One level above would be from 1,000, 2,000 to 4,000, 6,000, which would get more exposure to you. And 30% of people are gonna be 20 or 50 plus thousand followers, because there, if you switch on notifications on their accounts and you show up the first one in the comments after they tweet something and you write good stuff, then you will be getting many eyeballs into your profile. Yes, sure, you can just sit on Elon Musk's Twitter profile 24/7 waiting for him to drop some tweet, but there is no need. Instead, you want to be following those people who do have your ideal audience, because you don't need every single person on earth to follow you. You just need a couple thousand potential prospects to follow you, especially if you're in B2B SaaS. Keeping such ratio allows you to build relationships strategically, and this way it's very low chance that we will end up tweeting or commenting for 1,000 times and you not having any friends on the platform. We want to be strategic about building relationships on the platform, and if you keep the ratio the such way, then it will be very low chance that you will end up without any relationships after a couple of months, and we don't want this to happen. Growth checklist. This part is a quick guide on what you can be doing on your daily and weekly routines for you to be getting most traction without you having to spend 6 hours every day liking and commenting everyone's profile. Yes, sure, the more time you spend on the platform, usually the better. However, some of the most successful creators and Twitter profiles which I know actually don't spend as much time on Twitter, because they spend all their time learning, doing cool stuff. And look, if you think of Elon Musk, again, he is running one of the most successful Twitter profiles and he is not spending more than 30 minutes a day on Twitter. So something to think about here. Same thing with you. You can be attending great conferences, doing cool things in your life, and just invest 30 to 60 minutes a day of very focused effort into doing content and engaging, and this would allow you to grow more efficiently. So we want to be doing at least 3, better 10 DMs a day to potential leads or cool people you vibe with within your niche. This DM strategy is for us to build relationships, because as you already remember, Twitter is all about relationships as it is a social network. Yes, I understand that the technical side of you wants to treat everything like an algorithm, and I'm somewhat the same, but sometimes we need to step away from thinking in pure numbers and actually think, okay, for other people to come to our profile and comment on our stuff, they need to care about us. And how can we get them to care about us? We will do that by engaging with them and being cool with them more often. Next, 20 comments a day, 10 on profiles which are one level above you or same level, and 10 on larger profiles. This will be giving you a healthy mix of building relationships and getting some more exposure to your tweets. Of course, you can start at 10 comments a day. Again, here I'm giving you 2 numbers for this checklist. One is the minimum, another one is recommended. Sure, all of us have different amount of time we can be spending here. Don't go below the minimum amount. Minimum amount of comments would be 10 a day, because if you're not doing 10 comments a day, usually your tweets would not be getting as much exposure. And especially with your threads, imagine when you spend a couple hours writing a very nice piece, spend hours and hours on the hook and share it with a bunch of friends, and then it is only shown to 100 people and you get 2 likes. We don't want this to be happening, and that's why exactly we do commenting every day like a habit. Next is 2, ideally 4 tweets a day, and next is 3 threads a week, or 2 threads and 1 giveaway a week, or 2 threads and 1 fundraiser post a week. We mix this after one another, and yes, sure, no one usually has time to do more than 3 threads a week. At least try to do 1. If you're at a couple hundred followers, be investing time into writing at least 1 thread each week. Yes, sure, all of us get busy, but few times I've seen how many people would go from a couple hundred followers to more than 10,000 followers just with 1 successful thread. And that's why we don't want to miss out on these high risk, high reward opportunities, and be consistent doing at least 1 a week, ideally 2 or 3. Then you'll see giveaways, which I'll cover in a minute, and fundraiser post is quite straightforward. You break down what you do and you say, if you're facing this pain point, drop this thing in the comments or shoot me this one thing in the DMs. Say hi to you so that you can later close them and run them through your sales funnel. Now, under 100 followers, you want to be spending 90% time on commenting and 10% time on tweeting. Yes, sure, these are approximate estimations. Yes, you can do whatever, but at least as a rule of thumb, this is how you can approximately be spending your time on Twitter depending on your stage. If you're under 300 followers, you start tweeting more often, because here you would be doing one tweet a day. I'm not sure there's like much sense in you doing fantastic threads. And yes, I understand that you want to be giving a lot of value doing this high level writing. But again, if you're under 100 followers and this stuff is only going to be shown to 10 people, yes, you can have CEOs who look at it, but usually you want to get to at least over 100 people first, because I have never seen a viral thread from anyone who would be below 100 people. I did see them for those who were at roughly 200 to 300 follower counts. Now, first threads and posting sales assets happens here when you are between 100 and 300. Then as you go down to 1000 followers, you invest 20% time on commenting and 80% time on tweeting, and that's where the transition happens, with you going and investing full effort from commenting into investing effort into actually writing good stuff, because who knows, with any of the threads here you can go and exponentially grow your account and get exponentially more sales. Learning to write better threads as one can get you from 400 to 14,000 followers overnight. I've seen such cases happen. If you're under 5,000 followers, you want to be spending some time consistently commenting on people's profiles, because otherwise Twitter will penalize you and punish you and not show your posts to as many people. And 90% of time you invest into writing fantastic stuff, because it's actually, again, you're one thread away from 5xing your follower count here. Once you get above 5,000 people, you spend 5% commenting and 95% leveraging relationships that you build, investing time in great content that can 10x your profile. Now, we actually want to optimize your profile. Yes, we do want to do this right from the start. Just I dropped the checklist so that you know approximately what you can do this week. Here, company brand against your personal brand. Which is better for your business? Should you use a company brand or your own one? If you want to make your life 10 times harder, do the company one. People follow people. Without the story, Nike are selling complete commodity products. You take any successful SaaS that's getting most purchases from Twitter, they are using their CEO or CMO as their key public figure. Now, profile picture. Smiles convert better, and you already know the rest about good resolution, facing the camera, and so on. Banner, you can include the value proposition, who you help and how, and also the publications where you've been featured. TechCrunch, Wall Street Journal, whichever. Today, the best converting banners are visual representations of competence. For instance, if you run Shopify, the banner would be a happy store owner. If you run a SaaS for aerospace engineers, this would be a happy aerospace engineer who flew into space thanks to your product. Bio. Be mindful about every word you put there. Include your accomplishments if you want to grow faster. Once I helped the founder of a software development agency go from 50 to 1,000 followers in 2 months, and he's been sitting at low numbers for half a year. Now, what was the secret? Before texting me, his bio said the following: I'm the owner of this one agency and we build applications. I knew he landed a few enterprise deals and suggested him to change that. Founder at ABC Agency, my apps are used by 160 million users every month, and this to me sounds way more cool. I know your startup may not be featured in TechCrunch yet, but come up with something that will make people go, wait, what? And especially if you're under 100 followers, if you're under 1,000 followers, you do want to be putting some of the badass accomplishments there, just because, yes, it does convert better. You may not want to look like a show-off, but look, people are judging to follow you or not in 1 second while waiting for their coffee. So that's why you want to be thoughtful about that. Some cool stuff now. 3 A's that form a successful brand. And I picked up this strategy from one coaching program on Twitter content writing, which I've been a part of. Authority, awareness, and authenticity. When creating your content pipeline, you want to balance these 3 elements. Authority content gets you conversions, signups, demos, and users. These are case studies which prove your product's ability to get people to their dream result. This is how our SaaS product helped this company go from A to B numeric result without having to do this annoying thing. Testimonials, case studies, and other sales assets that illustrate your competence. This is what is authority content. Do you never post case studies or success stories of your users with their life before and after your product? product, don't be surprised that nobody is signing up for demos. A lot of people, especially when founders, they outsource social media management. Yes, they put some person to be responsible of that, and this person would usually be writing some cool surface level tips and tricks and doing some emoji level engagement. However, if you do want to be getting people to actually go sign up for a demo, why would they do it if you are just tweeting surface level stuff? When you prove your competence, that is when people understand, okay, if I go and check it out, this will be worth my time. And that's why authority content is one of the key pieces that serves your function of converting sales from Twitter into your SaaS. Awareness content. This one is for helping you grow your reach. Awareness content is writing threads on hype topics, like at the time of me recording this is ChatGPT and AI stuff, and leveraging authority and audiences of popular brands you want to be associated with. So you want to be associated with being the best marketing tool. You can write something like 6 weird strategies that helped Apple create one-of-a-kind marketing campaigns. Here, if you can see, I took the popular brand that everyone knows is famous for their fantastic marketing, and I leveraged their authority, or in other words, their popular name, to get more eyeballs into my content. Here, you're breaking down success stories of companies your ideal customers know about. And interestingly, after you write 50 of such threads, you actually become an authority figure on a certain topic. Awareness content serves the aim of exposing your company to more people. So, such Twitter creators like Dickie Bush and few others, which you might know, what they've been doing all the way up to 100,000 followers is they've been taking some case studies and popular stories of different companies or some other public figures that they found cool, and they've been breaking down how they went from A to B despite some difficult challenge. And then after they've been doing this for months and years, people were actually starting to put them in the same bracket as these cool other public figures that they once were looking up to. Now, authenticity content, and this is what turns you in the market of one. Here you share your story, your failures, lifestyle, controversy, beliefs, things that make you unique. You want to have a 30-30-30 ratio between these elements, because if you're consistent in doing your authenticity content, your audience will be building a closer relationship with you. And especially if you're doing high ticket or enterprise stuff, of course, you will definitely leverage that, because when people know the real you and they understand, okay, for example, there are 2 different options, they can buy yours and your competitor. Your competitor just does the job, you do the job, and also you have this fantastic story that you shared publicly. And for instance, if you take Nike, if you take Apple, people buy from them because of the stories that are behind these companies, and that fact that these companies are putting the customers on the pedestal. And that's exactly what you can also be doing in your authenticity content, as here you will be exploring how you went from certain situation to you caring that much about the people you're currently serving and the customer audience that you have in mind now. Okay, you want to have a 30-30-30 ratio between this, because if you're missing authority content, you will have no conversions. If you have no awareness content, you will have an audience of 10 people. And if you have no authenticity content, nobody will care about you and you will be a commodity. Structure your content plan. Moving to the next one. Here are some of the top tools for scheduling content and analytics. Tweet Hunter, this one is with best giveaway functional and very neat UX. Hype Fury, only tool in which you can reschedule sales assets, and after you have more than 20 threads, this comes very handy because you can be just rescheduling them and growing faster, but I frankly don't like their user interface. Typefully, which has the most minimalistic UI and the best hook suggestions. And ILO, this one is not for scheduling tweets, but rather for analytics. And I think if you go with either of these options, you will not be disappointed. Build your Twitter pod. Okay, the pod is your inner circle, which you run your content by before publishing. And they help you get initial traction by engaging and liking your stuff. At SaaS Camp, we have engagement groups for both Twitter and LinkedIn so that founders inside can get results from content marketing faster. This was one of the elements which allowed us to get from 5 to 150 signups a day with Ricard, founder of Dividend Compass, because again, we've been doing content in multiple channels and we got more signups quickly. Now going to threads. I could spend another 4 hours talking solely about thread writing because I've written hundreds in the past years. Most flopped, but some of them gained over 1 million impressions. Now, how to write a viral thread? Magic revealed. Write threads on validated topics and make 5 iterations of the hook. Validate the topic first. Use Ahrefs or Google or ChatGPT to see what is in demand by your audience. Or just check your best performing tweets. And this is how you write a viral thread. You just write it on topic that others care about. And this is the key thing to understand. If a tweet got 2 times more likes from the audience than usual, you can do a giveaway or thread on this topic. None of the best creators on this platform are writing content on unvalidated topics unless it's authenticity content about their personal story. Now I'm giving you the validation formula. If you divide likes by impressions and you have over 1.5%, this means the content piece can be counted as validated. If your tweet got more than that, that means your audience cares about it and it is worth the time to write a long form piece about the same thing. 5 likes per 100 impressions is 5% means validated. If your tweet got 5 likes per 1,000 impressions, it's not validated. And when you go beyond a couple thousand impressions, if you go beyond, 20, 50 likes, usually this equation would stop working just because when you're growing exponentially, you will understand that yes, this thing worked, so write about it. Here is my thread which got over 1 million impressions. And I think I can break it down for you piece by piece. What are the elements which I used here? So you can add $13,000 in revenue in 1 week, numbers and time frame. The best part, question mark. It's always nice to use questions in hooks. You can do it even without touching your product. Low effort. Steal my pricing tactics that have brought easy sales for 50 startups. And then I give a visual that's illustrating something weird. At least this is not usual for anyone using Twitter often to see something like beige with this 3 empty blocks. I mean, what's that? But it worked awesome. Again, what I done here is I hook the people with the first line. Your first line should always be attention grabbing. If not, usually their thread will flop. Questions, they always make the brains initiate the thinking process, which is a good thing. Then the combinations which are forming very successful hooks are usually when you are promising people how to get some insane result and achieve that with very small amount of effort. For instance, how to come up with 75 marketing strategies in 3 clicks using this one product. It works. Then how to come up with 15 content ideas in 1 minute without using AI. Also interesting. Steal my pricing tactics that have brought easy sales for 50 startups. Some authority game here. Cool. Secret behind the best performing threads. Number 1, validated topic. Number 2, numbers, because people and our brains like numbers. 3, fear of missing out. The hook is so attention grabbing you can't walk by. 90% of time spent on the hook because no one would care what 20 tweets you have inside the thread if your hook is not strong enough. The hook is just so good, huge value in no effort. Like somebody struggled for 5 years to find these 5 takeaways and now you can grab them in a minute. Ask 5 people for which hook they find the best before posting, and that's exactly why this Twitter pod comes useful. Tell 10 friends your thread is coming at this time, and that's again why you want to be doing the same for other people, engaging with their stuff on Twitter, because when something you've been writing for a week is coming out, you want some initial people to go like and comment on the stuff. Keep in mind that if you send this to the same people over and over, Twitter algorithm will not be boosting it as much, so ideally you want to be versatile here. Send your thread to 30 people who are loving your content when you release. Again, what we do with every founder inside SaaS Camp is that when they do this long form sales assets, after sales asset has been out for a couple of days, we then take and put together all the people who engaged with it, ending up with a couple hundred people, put them in a list, and next time when our content piece comes out, we send them a message saying, hi, this new content piece is coming out. I thought that you liked my recent one, and I'm sure you love this one even more. And this is how you can be growing exponentially, especially after you grow this list to 500, 1,000 people. people. Now, the important part. When sharing your thread with others, cut everything after the question mark, because then the Twitter would know that you are sharing this content by yourself and will not boost you via the algorithm. Here's how your link is copied by default the wrong way, where you have the question mark here and then this thing, and how you should send it to others. You remove this and you send it. This is gonna be affecting your reach and engagement, so be knowledgeable about that from now. Cool. Giveaways. Look, yes, they are the hot thing right now, but don't overwhelm your audience with them. It gets you eyeballs and signups, but usually these aren't generating the best type of audience, even though most creators have given up on threads in favor of giveaways these days. I put some fancy stats here, how couple of my giveaways have gained 1 million impressions and 17.2k in engagement. All of them, I don't know, combined brought me over 100 calls. And this one, for example, let me break them down for you. I helped 53 SaaS companies make over 1.1 million last year. Numbers and authority. My 6-step system never changes. Again, numbers. I broke it down step by step in one document and could charge $4.99 for it. But today it's yours for free. Again, you're getting huge value for a very small amount of effort. Like and comment SaaS and I'll DM it to you. Same thing here. I've built over 50 SaaS funnels which generated over this amount in revenue. Yesterday I recorded 28-minute training revealing the exact marketing funnel I used that you can replicate. You can use it like word by word, but apply it for your niche. Retweet and comment funnel so I can share it with you. And same thing here, many numbers, huge benefit and low effort. Cool. Now, the principles of successful giveaways. Number 1, a validated topic. Number 2, a validated, in-demand, hot topic that solves a burning problem for your ideal audience. You can write a very messy giveaway, but if you're writing this on such a hot topic that your audience would pay to just get resolved, it would usually work. People are spending years, and I've been spending years writing on some useless stuff before getting to understand that, look, unless you are doing some personal story and you're okay with only getting a couple likes, you want to be addressing the topics which are the hot ones for your audience. Usually it would be a long form hook, nearly max characters, because as you see here, nearly all of them had close to the limit of 270. Then this would be usually a visual. I used visuals in all of them because they are attention grabbing, but sometimes you can pull it off without it. Shows super valuable info, insane numeric result in Y time frame, numbers. Usually this would be the setup of like plus comment and shared with your network instantly after publishing. I think for all of these three, which have been the most successful for me at least, I shared each of them with at least a few people after I published them, and all of these people had a couple thousand followers. Now, I put this here, but frankly, this is step 0 for you to understand, which is building relationships. It's no point writing 100 or 1,000 or 20,000 tweets a day if nobody cares about your content. It is a social platform, and everything gets much easier when you treat it in such a way. If you don't make it fun, you will quit. So first, make sure you build a circle of people you love hanging out with. If it feels like hard work and you have no connection with anyone here, you will quit before 300 followers. Some people last to 5,000, some people last to 10,000, but frankly, you don't want to make it too much hard work for you. It's all about you finding some creators or some founders who are talking about similar topics as your solution is solving, and you want to be engaging with them and making it all fun for you. Yes, sure, especially when you have close to no one going through your post, this is challenging, but after you survive the hardest part of getting the initial 1,000 followers, I promise you it gets much easier. Is somebody commenting on your stuff? Go and comment on theirs, and always reply to comments. Now, also commenting on how to build relationships one-on-one for every technical founder who is watching this. Comment and like on the person's content on Monday. Then comment and like something from the person on Wednesday. Do the same on Friday. Then DM them next Monday, writing a casual compliment and asking some question about what they do. Then you continue a conversation and keep engaging with their stuff. And then potentially you jump on a call with them. Help them by providing something useful. Could be a link or a video on what you discussed. Grass, you now understand how to build relationships with humans. So, jumping into the Twitter ads topic. Twitter ads have been very hot thing in 2023 because after Elon Musk took over, he changed a bunch of things, and that's how a lot of ad buyers who I know have jumped into them just because they started working so well. Underrated and overlooked. In 2023, we've been running them with few SaaS startups and some achieved a decent ROAS. They are cheaper than Facebook and usually much cheaper than LinkedIn ads. And you want to be cautious about a couple points when running Twitter ads. Interestingly, I think you could consider running them even though you have under 100 followers, but as you understand, you want to be at least at couple hundred followers just for you to be getting a bit more social proof towards what you're advertising. So be mindful about advertising case studies with too bold numbers because it's easy to get banned for it. And I've just talked to a guy who's been banned for advertising very cool case studies 2 days ago. Second one would be running before/after campaigns, as these work so well that they get blocked. And keep in mind that support of Twitter ads sucks and they are slow to reply to. And their support sucks, so just keep in mind that whatever you may be facing, you may think that it will be resolved in a couple days, but it will actually take weeks. Just know this. Now it's the time for some secret sauce, because here you can actually combine your inbound with unlimited and controllable outbound. The tool which I will cover here is called Scrappy Bird. The tool lets you scrape Twitter followers, and you can infinitely come up with creative ways how you can use it in your sales funnels. The tactic number one is you find a competitor tool to yours, you scrape their followers using Scrappy Bird, then you run a cold email campaign saying, "Hi, so you're into this, we built Y, which is better in ABC way, profit." The beauty of this thing is that unlike Twitter DMs, in which you get banned in case you go beyond the limit for time and time again and you get your account suspended, the beauty of cold email plus Twitter combination is that you can send as many as you'd like. For instance, imagine that you have 3 products that are your close competitors and each of them has 5 to 15,000 people, followers on Twitter. What you can do is you build the lead lists, which will cumulatively be, let's say, 30 to 40,000 people. And if you can achieve certain metrics by running your campaigns, it's actually a scalable way how you can grow your SaaS to numbers you want. Now, the tactic number 2 that we're using inside SaaS Camp is you build a list of potential prospects who engaged with some ideal giveaway. For instance, checklist for media buying agencies with 500 comments while you sell to media buying agencies. So what I mean here is instead of you having to wait until one of your giveaways is gonna go viral, you can actually find some viral giveaway or a thread by someone in your niche which would have a lot of comments from your potential prospects. Then you take Scrappy Bird tool, open the thread which went viral and that has 90% of your potential prospects, you scrape them, you find their emails and you run a super laser targeted email campaign to them. Plus you can also go and like their profiles and engage with them because this is basically some other creator building a perfect lead list for you. Here you also gonna run a cold DM campaign to them. Be mindful about falling into the Twitter blogs. And second, you run a cold DM campaign to them. Be mindful about numbers you're sending. If some people are following you, for instance, your giveaway goes viral, and everyone is asking you to send the stuff, you can send, if I'm not mistaken, 500 to 700 DMs a day. However, if you're sending cold outbound DMs, cold email would give you unlimited reach, while Twitter would not allow you to do beyond 30 without affecting your credibility of your profile. So Twitter is just one of the multiple ways how you can grow your SaaS, and you don't want to rely 100% on one channel because you can actually get blocked for no reason, just like that. And the optimal way is usually to use 2 to 3 channels. Drop your product link here in the comments and I'll tell you which other channel would make sense for you to do the customer acquisition. This was just the tip of the iceberg. If you want me to help you craft the strategy individually for your startup, share more secret stuff that we've got and break down your plan from A to Z, including the traps to avoid, I do exactly that for every founder who is inside SaaS Camp Accelerator. So if you want to grow your B2B SaaS startup, check out SaaS Camp at saascamp.co, because there we will build you a dynamic marketing system which we installed for over 70 other startups. And if for some reason you won't add extra 20 qualified demos a month in 6 months or less, we'll just refund you in full. If you got any more questions, simply drop them in the comments. And I am very thankful to you for watching this to the end and wish you a fantastic day. Talk soon.